Today's question comes from Alan in Pennsylvania. Some legislators in my state are introducing a bill to do a study on universal basic income. At this point, it's just a proposal to do a study, but I was curious what your thoughts are on the government providing low-income people with a monthly stipend. I know other parts of the world have introduced forms of it to varying degrees of success. Okay, I'm not a fan of any type of universal basic income for a variety of reasons. I'm going to try to keep this short. First and foremost, it does not create incentive. It does not allow someone to see the value of showing up and putting in some work. And we know from human behavior, and we saw this in the United States, it's why we're in the inflationary period that we're in. When we give out more money and unemployment benefits were increased and extended, people spent the money. People don't save the money. People need dignity of work to get up, go do something, get paid, and watch themselves continue to make progress. And the argument for people that are pro-stipend, and I'm seeing this all over the place in the United States, being tested in multiple cities right now, and it is a social entitlement. And entitlement, if you look at the word in the dictionary, I'll let you do it on your own. It does not create incentive. It actually de-incentivizes people, and they end up misusing it. So for that reason, I'm not a fan of it at all. It's also a slippery slope to a universal income across the board, which we see in socialistic countries like Venezuela, Cuba, and more. Go do your homework on how that has worked out.
Yeah. Generally speaking, if you study history, communism has failed. For the little man to get ahead, capitalism, in its current form today, is not perfect, but it is by far in human history, all of human history, at this moment in time in the United States of America, the little man has a better chance of getting ahead and becoming somebody than he has in any other government situation, in any other economic system in human history. This is straight out of the Karl Marx playbook. This is not out of the Adam Smith playbook. Let me help you with that. Karl Marx, father of communism. Adam Smith wrote the tome that we were all required to read on capitalism if we took economics. So my friend Art Laffer, one of the leading economists in the world, says that if you pay people to not work, please expect them to not work.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah, it's deep. And
it's true.
And here's the thing. So if I thought with my 40 years plus in the financial world that this was helpful to people, I would be for it, even though I am a staunch capitalist. Just set me on fire and I burn capitalism. I mean, it does. I believe in it to the core of my being. And if you don't like that, that's okay. Go start your own show. This is mine. And so this is what we do. And so if I honestly thought that if you were struggling financially, if you came up in a family in a socioeconomic setting on a lower rung of the ladder, your best shot at life of having a high-quality life was a universal income, I would say go for it. But I don't think it is. As a matter of fact, all of my experience and all of the data we have at Ramsey indicates that your best quality of life is when your character is increased with grit, discipline, calluses. The ability to overcome obstacles gives you much more joy than the dull hum of communism. It puts you to sleep. And if the welfare system worked, people would be sprinting out of these government-funded ghettos into a wonderful life. And instead, they've set up camp there generationally. And it's not good for you. It's not, you have no compassion. I have more compassion than you do if you believe in this crap, because it's not good for you. It's not good for someone. So I always think, the people that think capitalism doesn't work are the ones that grew up here and were trained by a tenured professor who believes in Karl Marx more than he does Adam Smith. And they were taught by some idiot college professor that this stuff actually works. Well, it works in Sweden. Let's just keep in mind here, Sweden, the entire population of Sweden, the entire gross domestic product output of Sweden is way smaller than Dallas. Okay, so you can't really extrapolate that size of an economy to the size of an economy like ours and say something works. So that's just bonehead, asinine analysis. Okay, so that's just crap. Now, what does work is this: incentive. What does work is a belief that if I leave the cave, kill something, and drag it home, I get to keep it, and the government won't take it from me. I had a young guy working for us. Remember when social media first started many years ago, and we learned this new term, SEO.
Yeah. And
he was a young tech guy, and he was from Czechoslovakia, and he had this fabulous American accent, but with that Slavic accent, right? He spoke English, but with that Slavic accent. I wish I could do it. Hillbilly Slavic would be awesome, but I can't do it. So anyway, Milan was his name. And Milan left to go get his master's degree. He was 25 years old. Went to go get. I love Ramsey, but I'm going to go get my master's degree. That's my best imitation. It's not very good. Yeah.
Pretty good.
And I said, how are you going to pay for it? I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out. This is America.
Yeah.
So he goes. The cost of the master's degree for the first semester was $4,000. He goes to a garage sale 3 days after he quit here. And the guy at the garage sale was a Nike salesman, and he had a whole garage full of last year's Nike's shoes samples that he used to go to the stores to make the sale, used to go to the vendors to make the sales. So Milan buys the entire garage of last year's Nikes for $15. He said, my whole back seat was full. My whole trunk was full. I filled up the passenger side.
Love that.
He goes, I put them on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Dave, in 48 hours, I got the money to go to school.
Yeah.
What a country! Yeah. What a country! You don't get that with a universal stupid butt communism stipend.
Yeah. That's
you
true.
Don't get that.
Right.
The number of people nowadays going to garage sales, buying used clothing for 10 cents, selling it on eBay for $1.60 and making $10,000 a month doing this in mass is unbelievable. The first guy that ever made $1 million on eBay was buying used golf clubs from people that gave up on their horrible golf game, polished them up, flipped them on eBay.
Yeah.
You don't get that if you're sitting on your welfare check.
Here's one for you. I interviewed a couple recently on my show who are now making over $1 million a year on their YouTube channel, teaching people how they were successful at flea market flipping. So they were making about $300,000 a year just on flea market flipping. Then they started making videos of how they do it, and now they're making over $1 million. That is individualism, which, by the way, is the opposite of communism, community. Communal is the root word, and they twist it. America works because it allows people the freedom to be who they want to be.
I know a guy that was so stupid that he filed bankruptcy because he was so bad at handling money, and he's made millions of dollars teaching people to live on less than they make.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah.
What a country! Oh, my gosh.
I can't wait for the video that people are going to cut up of you with this new accent. I think it's going to be huge.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I wish it was good because it was so powerful.
It's not bad. You can't detect any East Tennessee in that at all. No Middle Tennessee. No Tennessee anywhere.
Hillbilly Slavic. Just leave it at that. All right, it's a whole new dialect. I just invented it today. I'll probably make money on that too. What a country. Yeah.